coming up on YouTube. So let me get the comments set up here and we will be ready to go with our fireside chat. I'm trying to work on this new setup I got here on this my my tripod, but this is not the best tripod in the world, so I got to figure that out later. But anyhow, welcome, welcome, welcome. I got my two phones, so that way, if I want to move from room to room, I can just pick up my tripod and away we go. And I can't do that if I'm sitting here on the couch with two different little stands here. So, whew, it has been a busy day, y'all. A busy day. We had a lot going on today, and I got a lot going on tomorrow, here, there, and yonder. So we are. I even watched a movie today, y'all. I come home and I was so tired. I said I'm not going to go to sleep, or I won't sleep tonight. So I got on. I have Prime on my TV since I got my new satellite dish for my internet. I can stream movies on my TV. So I got on Prime today because that's included with my Amazon, and I Googled Amish movies. So I watched a real good Amish movie today. It was something about one plus, or being the plus one at a wedding or something. It was a good little movie. So I got to do that today. I didn't work any puzzles today. Didn't have time for that. But yes, we are going to vote in the morning. Tony and I did not early vote. I didn't know anything about even how to early vote. So our poll thing we live out in the country. It's usually not that busy. So we will go in the morning to cast our vote. Virginia's got a big election for governor. So, that's important. So we are going to go do that first thing in the morning, and then I got a massage, and I got another appointment. So I got several appointments, and I need to make some phone calls tomorrow, and so I'll have a full day tomorrow, and then the rest of the week is not going to be that busy. Rebecca is over on YouTube tonight. Thank you, Rebecca, for the gift. Yeah, I like to watch movies on Prime. That was the first time watching on Prime, and it come right up, so I like that. Did I get my sink fixed? That is the $1,000,000 question. I've had trouble with that sink practically since we moved here. So the guy today, he was a young guy, and I thought, oh, Lord, how much does he know about plumbing? But he was pretty nice, and he snaked it out, and it didn't help it any. So then he got the big snake out, and he snaked that. And then he started cutting out some pipes, and it was making me a little nervous. But then he went to the hardware store and got some more pipes, and so he repiped it underneath. Well, that wasn't the problem, but we had a little leak down there, so that's why he was fixing that. Thank you, Joyce, for the ears, nose, and stars. So he did all that, and he finally got all them pipes put back together and no leaks. But it was still draining slow, and he thinks it's with that air thing that I bought. That was the one that was on there, but like I said, that thing never worked right since we lived here. So he's going to get me another air thingy and come back out here a different day. I don't know when he's going to get that, but he said he would reschedule to do a callback and see how it's going after about a week. He said it's probably grease from who knows how long ago. It backs up, and sometimes it kind of melts and solidifies and all that. And I'm like, well, I don't put any grease in that sink. I am very, very careful about that. But anyhow, then I woke up this morning about 4 or 4:30, and I thought I'll just go ahead and get up. Well, about 6:15, I got sleepy again. I thought, oh, Lord, I shouldn't have done this. I should have slept while I could, because now I got to get up. The cleaners are coming. I got things to do, so then I've been sleepy all day because by the time the cleaners left, then I had to wait for the plumber to get here, and it was almost noon when he left, and then Tony had a doctor appointment, so, and Tiana and Brooke and Jace stopped by, and then we had to leave for the doctor appointment, and that takes a while. Then I had to do blood work, and it was just on and on and on. And I got so sleepy coming home. The sun was out so bright trying to set, and I'm like, I'm so sleepy. But when I got home, that's when I watched my little Amish show. I warmed up. We had leftovers from Olive Garden yesterday, so that's what we had for dinner tonight. We just heated up the leftovers because we didn't eat that much at Olive Garden. We brought the majority of it home, really. So they give you such big dinners there, you can't hardly eat it all. And I still got stuff over there. So we did all that, and I watched me a little show, and I talked on the phone some. And Donna Tate said everyone she knows has been tired since the time change. Yeah, Tiana said Jace, he was wide awake because his body was on the other time, so I think he's been getting up earlier than he's supposed to. But yep, I stayed awake through the whole movie. That's when I ate my dinner. I watched that. Tony already ate because I was busy doing something. Oh, I had to go get the eggs and stuff, so he warmed his up while I went to get the eggs, and then when I come back, he was going back to the garage, so then I warmed me something up, and I sat down to watch that movie. Now, usually the time change doesn't really affect me. I never paid that much attention to it before because I was like going all the time because I worked. What did I watch? Margaret Whitlow wants to know. I watched something called Plus One at an Amish wedding. So her boyfriend was Amish, or was raised Amish, and his brother was getting married, and he was taking her back to the Amish place so they could get married. And she didn't even know he was Amish until, or that he was raised Amish, until he was taking her back, and he had to tell her. So, but it was a nice little movie. I loved to watch any of them. And when I was on Prime, there was a whole bunch on there. All right, something else I got to tell y'all. I learned something new this week. The other day, I was talking to y'all, and I said, with Facebook, when you're scrolling on Facebook, back in the day, when you scrolled, all you got was your friends' updates. You could see all your friends and all their updates, and you didn't get all this other rigmarole, is what I call it, in there. So when I said that, two different people, and I don't remember their names now, but two different people sent me a message and said, if you only want to see your friends' stuff and not all this other ads and all that junk, then swipe left. When you when you go to your profile, swipe left. I think they said left, but if left don't work, go right. But I think it said left. You swipe left, and all of a sudden, here come all my friends up in my feed, and nothing else was in my feed but my friends. And I'm like, well, lordy be, I never knew it did that. And they said, one person told me it found out by accident. They was swiping, and then that's how they found that out. So, if y'all want to try that, let me know in the comments once you try it if it works for you. But it worked for me, and I was happy because now I usually never go out to my personal profile anyways because I'm always on my cooking page profile, and I'm never get to go to my personal profile anyways unless I'm looking something up for a friend of mine or something. But try that. Go to your personal page and swipe left when you go down through there, swipe left, and they said that's when your friends will come up. And they did. So I seen all kind of stuff. I'm like, well, Lord, because I had just got it wasn't on an iPhone, but I don't think that makes a difference. I did it on my, because you're in Facebook, so I don't think it matters which kind of phone you got. But try one or the other. Or Google how can I only see my friends on Facebook and not all this other junk? But I did it on an Android. So you'll just have to see what kind of works for you there. But I was so happy when I seen that, because I was tired of you scroll, and when you're scrolling and you get all these other people, you don't even know who those people are, and that's what you're seeing all this stuff of. So a lot of times if I see something, I'm like, I don't want to see that. I do that little X out and like, I'm not interested in them. I don't know why they put stuff on there. Now somebody said they tried it, it didn't work. Well, do it on if you got an Android, either swipe left or swipe right, or go out and Google how can you only see that on your thing. But am I going to watch Tugboat Tuesday tomorrow? I hope I remember. I have an alarm set on my, oh no, wait a minute. At 10 o'clock tomorrow, I'll listen to it. I'll be driving to an appointment. I got a 10:30 appointment tomorrow, so I will be driving from 10 to 10:30. That's when Tugboat Tuesday comes on. And so yeah, I'll get at least listen to it, but I won't get a comment because I will be. Somebody's saying that I make viewers so angry and upset by using those lane pads. Y'all, those lane pads that I have in my coop, they're rubber. They are soft. They bend. They're just rubbery. You can clean them. They will never wear out. They are ordered from a chicken company that sells laying pads. So I'm sure they researched this, and if chickens didn't like them, they wouldn't make them. But they make a business selling those things. I use them especially when I had young chickens, because my young chickens used to get in there and poop all the time. Well, now they don't get in there and poop because they're sleeping on the bars. I mean, there's rhyme or reason for everything that I do. Right or wrong, there's some kind of reasoning I have for doing it. I did order them new straw lane pads, but I don't do that often, but I will try them out. A chicken is going to lay an egg. They don't care what they're laying on. They will lay on, here's what a chicken needs, y'all, to lay an egg. They want for the most part, they want to get by themselves in a little cubby hole. They like privacy. They don't care what's underneath them. They don't care if they're laying on straw, if they're laying on something. That's only for their comfort, but they could care less. Their body is going to make an egg every so many days based on the breed that chicken is. That chicken can't say, she has those rubber mats in there again. I think I'll just hold this egg another day or two. That's not going to happen, y'all. So don't be, they sometimes, if they're young chickens or new chickens, they don't know exactly where to go yet. That's how come sometimes you'll get an egg in the coop. But for the most part, they are not concerned with what is underneath their hiney when that egg is getting ready to drop out. So I did order them some of the nesting pads because they did work out pretty good. Somebody had sent me some. I normally don't buy a lot of stuff that's extra like that. I mean, I got to buy enough for them chickens as it is. And believe me, that chicken stuff ain't cheap by the time you're buying their food. All their, continually buy feeders and waters and electrical stuff for the things and the lights and, building the coops. I have a lot of money invested in them chickens. So I don't worry about if I have to, I don't like to keep buying stuff that they don't need. Sometimes I get them extra stuff, I'll feel like Froggy one day and I'll say, okay, I will order them those, But chickens don't really care what's underneath them. When they got to lay, they got to lay. So that's all there is. Okay, Debbie said, I just now tried that. I went to my regular news feed and swiped left, and it worked. Y'all will be so happy if that works for you. I know it works with an Android. Somebody tell me if they ever tried it with an iPhone and let me know. Rebecca Crowfoot said, tell the chicken police to shut up. But the rubber ones, they work fine. When I'm in a pickle, I will put the rubber ones back in there. At least the eggs are not falling on the wood. So because they could fall out, and break on the wood, but yeah, okay, Jennifer King said, I bet in the egg production facilities, they don't invest in all this stuff. They don't, y'all. That chicken is laying that thing on like a wire rack or something, and that, in a farming thing, that chicken has about a space that big to get in. They stay in that thing the whole time, and they drop that egg, and it rolls out, and they put it in a carton and go on. So, yeah. So don't be too critical, y'all. Especially y'all that's never had even owned a chicken. It's all learning. I learned different things. Like I've been having chickens 10 or 12 years now. And I just now figured out within the last few months of the best way to collect their poop while in the coop. Because what I got going on there now is pretty good. The chickens don't walk in it. They don't let us sleep right next to it. It falls down in that corner, and it's working out pretty good there. All right. Let's see. Where's my little, oh, Lord. Oh, I got to get my book over here, y'all. Somebody moved my little book today. All right, let's see. What is today? Already Monday, November 3rd. Can y'all believe it? It's gonna be a busy month. Between now and January 1st, it's gonna be busy. Oh. All right, here we go. Monday, Ephesians. Let me get these glasses up here. Chapter 2. In him, the whole building is joined together and rises to become a holy temple in the Lord. The title is Joined by Jesus. Andy Goldsworthy's Grand Rapids arch sits on the side of a road as if striding alongside travelers. The artist created the 18-foot tall freestanding arch with 36 blocks of Scottish sandstone without using mortar or pins. The ascending angled stones, each one different and cut to fit together, depend on pressure created by a wedge-shaped keystone, the top center stone, to remain perfectly intact. The keystone is essential to holding the structure together, much like a cornerstone. The sculpture reminded me of how Jesus serves as the chief cornerstone of his diverse church in Ephesians. The Gentiles, all non-Jewish people, were once excluded from citizenship in Israel and foreigners to the covenants of the promise, without hope and without God in the world. Jesus made the two groups one and destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility. He created one new humanity and in one body reconciled both of them to God through the cross, giving them all access to the Father by one Spirit. Christ builds us up as a church in which God lives by his Spirit. He sculpts each unique person, connects us to him and to each other through him, and walks with us. The church is joined by Jesus. All right, so that's our little devotion for tonight. Let me put my glasses back down. I can see the comments now. All right, somebody's asking, Suzanne is on here tonight, moderating over on Facebook. Somebody asked, is Connie Owens on tonight? I don't know if I've seen Connie on here tonight. Somebody, let's see, who was that? Catherine or somebody said she's had chickens and it's not that easy. Oh, I do what I can, I do what I can with the chickens. That's just a hobby. I get those eggs. I give every egg away. We hardly use any eggs, and I give them all away to bless people with. So, uh, thank y'all for watching my videos. Let's see here. Sue said, I have such pretty hair. Well, it gets better in the fall because once the humidity goes out, it is very high humidity around here. And all summer, it's going to be a big old mess. But once fall gets here, my hair doesn't have all the frizz in it. All right, let's see what else is going on here. I see so much stuff going on here. How's Tony doing? He had a doctor appointment today with his kidney specialist, so his next step will be trying to get scheduled for the port. He's going to be having a port put in him, leading up to eventually going on dialysis. So he will have a port put in his stomach. So that's where we're at with that. He had just a regular checkup today. Somebody said, are you going to let Miss Kitty sleep on the heating pad this winter? Absolutely not. I gave that heated house of hers away because I think that burned her stomach last year. She has a little pad that's, it's like self-heating, so you don't put it up to electricity or nothing. But, so she'll get on that this winter. Let's see. Rebecca is saying she is having surgery on Thursday, so y'all remember her in prayer. Rebecca Crowfoot is going to be having surgery. Oh, somebody said it's gotten cold outside. I have not been out there. I don't know what our temperature is supposed to be getting down to, but we haven't had like fires. We just been running the furnace, y'all, because Tony stays cold, so we need to keep the house warm for him. And let's see, we got a gift in the mail today. I have to make a video of that later. We got a couple things to show. So thank y'all for thinking of me, thinking of Tony, thinking of Miss Kitty, thinking of Jace. Y'all been sending them stuff. So thank you for all that. All right. Well, somebody's got birthdays today. Oh, Michelle's birthday's coming up Thursday, 65 years old. Can you say Medicare? Oh, Medicare. Okay, well, I'm going to get off here and I won't hold y'all no longer tonight. I know everybody's time is important. So, oh, Margaret said she put electric waters out today. Well, I got to look at the weather and see. I know it's going to be, it's not freezing here yet, but I got to get those electric things out and get all them put in the sheds. All right, that's going to be it for tonight. And we'll check y'all out tomorrow. I'll be on in between running everywhere. All right, good night, everybody. Have a great night.